All right. Secondary squats today, man. Not anything crazy. Just like the pause deadlifts that I do on Thursdays. This falls into more of the category of technique work. There's not any specific way we're doing it, you know, like as we do for the deadlifts, those are pause deadlifts. But it's still like a type of weight where you can tell like you should be using more of just like really locking in with the form, technique shit, you know what I'm saying? Like to put it in perspective, right? Monday, the primary, we went up to 527. And then we did back off sets, 5 back off sets, reps, not just sets of one, with 510 pounds. Today, we're only doing 5 sets, going up to 455. So one can look at that and be like, okay, this is gonna be more of a technique day. You know what I'm saying? So that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna do 5 sets at 455, really just continuing to lock in with the form. And yeah, use this as another day to just get right for that 9th week, that peak week, where we will be attempting a new max. You could say I want to go for this and that in the beginning of the program, but as things progress, you're really able to really like feel out, see what's realistic, or even see if you were underselling what you wanted to get before. You know, numbers change. So with the squat, I've been feeling really good on it. I think I want to shoot for something a little nasty, like something that I think would be insane. And to me, that'd be something like 620 range, because that would mean that last time I maxed on squats, we already got a 15-pound PR, and that was at 600. And everyone knows, man, well, as long as you're not a fucking idiot, that the heavier weight you get to, the harder it is to even make a 5-pound jump, a 5-pound increase. Like the road to 225 on bench, let's say, to get to 315, you know what I mean? That's gonna be a lot easier than getting from 315 to 405. And even getting to 315 to 405, that's gonna be easier from going from 405 to 420, you understand? So it's just one of those things. So if we can, on top of getting a 15-pound PR already, last time we maxed, and then get a 20-pound PR and hit something in that 620 range, that'd be fucking insane. And that's before we're even competing in an amateur competition. Like the whole reason I'm doing this now is to just build as much strength as I can, just to like do the best that I can when I enter my first comp. And that's gonna obviously be amateur because I'm new to this shit. So I would be very happy with my squat being around that range before going into competition, you know what I mean? I'd say right now, where my bench is at, I like where it's at a lot. Going into our first amateur comp, I like where the squat could potentially be at. Deadlift definitely still needs some work, but that's future shit, you know? Right now, we just need to focus on hitting this quick work up. We get on the first set. I think I'm gonna take this one not only focusing on the technique, you know what I mean? It's just like one of those days where the weight is just right, perfect for really locking in. I mean, every day we focus on what we need to, but you can really focus on it when you have these secondary lifts where the weight is lighter. But I think for the first set, just because I'm really fucking tight. I knew that this week was gonna be an adjustment, and this week we were gonna have to be dealing with being really sore, really tight. Just because since, I know I sound like a broken record, but just reiterating, since that build up to the deload was less about heavy weight and more about just reps and shit like that, I wasn't really doing any super heavy weight. But now in the back half, we are doing really heavy weight. So it's been a while since I've gone like really, really heavy. You know what I mean? To the point where even Monday, after the first set of squats, I already had the leg shakes. So we're very tight today. But this is why I tell you guys to stretch. Stretching has come in clutch, so we're not like sore in a way where the lactic acid is just gonna be fucking unbelievably painful. You know what I'm saying? So we're just dealing with a lot of tightness, and with that being said, since we're tight, you know, active stretching, and then as we do this and whatnot, it will be fine. So I think I'm just gonna really take this slow and controlled and use this as my first workout sets usually are just basically glorified last warm-ups, but we're gonna like make this a super fucking glorified warm-up. That's not fucking good, dog. Literally in that second rep, right up in here, I felt something like snap. And it's very fucking painful right now. Like very, very fucking painful. I'm hoping that it's not anything like crazy, but yeah, I'm gonna just take a breather and figure out what the fuck's going on. Maybe just like a strained something. Definitely not a tear, because if it were a tear, it'd be a lot more painful, but that did not sound good, and it doesn't feel good. I think it's more of just a strain going on here. Definitely a strain. I don't think it's too bad to the point where we should call off the squatting. I know, you know, we're playing a dangerous game, but it's right up in here, like close to the meat. So just with the squats, it's kind of like how this was, right? So this was strained, you know what I'm saying? But we were able to continue lifting, even doing the push movements, bench and all that, because it wasn't a muscle that was like just taking the blunt of the strain when I was lifting. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm benching and everything, like, yeah, we're using this, it's, you know, discomfort and whatnot, but it's not to the point where we're like pitting all that strain on it and just making it worse and fucking it up. I feel like it's the same with this. Like, yes, it is getting engaged when we squat, you know, and do other movements and stuff like that, but not to a point where it's taking the blunt of the force and it's gonna make it worse or you know, super fuck it up. So I think we're a go, you know what I mean? And we just, we'll just be careful. And the minute that it feels worse than how it feels right now, we're done, you know what I mean? And I don't like just calling it quits on lifts and shit like that, but number one, this is the secondary squat, so it wouldn't be that big of a loss. And two, it's better to just walk away from things before you can't lift and you're out of the picture for months, you know what I mean? Or no, it's better to just walk away from a lift and save yourself from months of recovery rather than to just have that, you know, I'm not gonna be a bitch and go in and lift, and then you are out of the picture for like 6 months when you easily could have avoided that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know it's like you don't want to be a bitch, you don't want to be a pussy, but sometimes you kind of have to be.
Fuck.